Welcome everybody to this presentation of GitGud EU. My name is Shy Guy. I'm joined by Ocean, and today we are diving into playoffs and even the end of playoffs. It's time for grand finals, baby. It's the end of the season. This is what it all comes down to, and we're kicking things off today in the rookie division. First up, we're going to have Too Easy Idiot Sandwich taking on Benchwarmers 0 in a rematch of the upper bracket final. And, Ocean, I think we're in for a really good match.
Yeah, not only do these teams have great names, but they also have great play styles. And that was definitely said in their last matchup in the upper bracket finals. These teams now matching up against each other again in our grand finals. And that was kind of easy to see before. Benchwarmers just playing their lower bracket final match and winning that 3-2 in 6 maps. So they've now got a little bit of confidence and have just used their clutch factor. So if they can put Idiot Sandwich to the test, they might have a good chance of winning this one despite their previous defeat.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in this series, whether coming off that 6th map affair. I mean, they got done not even 30 minutes ago with that match. So on some level, they're coming into this hot. They're ready to go. They've been playing all day, but at the same time, they're now buckling down for another best of 5 here. So they've got to be on the top of their game. They can't afford to let the kind of the endurance get to them and kind of wane towards the end of the series. We'll see if they can get things started off on the right foot as we head over to Nepal for map number 1.
Yeah, Nepal is, of course, our first map. Nepal is Too Easy Idiot Sandwich preferred map choice on control, whereas Benchwarmers tend to prefer Lijon. So we're starting off on Too Easy Idiot Sandwich favorite map on control. However, if we get later on in the series and we have to go back to control, we have Lijon on the table for Benchwarmers 0, so they might have an advantage if we get later on in the series.
Yeah, for sure. We're just going to kick things off on Village, which, of all the points on Nepal, definitely plays kind of the most unique style. You see a lot of teams rolling out with very brawly types of compositions, parking a Mei on the point. Of seeing a lot of Symmetra here as of late, and as of right now, just from what the teams are teasing, Too Easy Idiot Sandwich kind of going in that direction. They got the Ryan Zarya, they got that Mei in the lineup as well.
Yeah, the key duel here we're going to be looking at is Kitsune on the Ashe with Shadow on the Mercy to match against Shadow Titan, who also has a Mercy. So that Pharah versus Ashe duel with the Mercy pocket coming through, and that's going to be an interesting one to look out for.
Yeah, already Kitsune on the low ground trying to find the duel, but it's actually going to be Furia who manages to get that. They can't stop the res from coming through and can't even finish off Holy Warrior. Well played there by the Mercy of Benchwarmers to get that res, get them numbers in this fight as they are able to take out Furia. They've got control of this high ground completely now as Too Easy trying to rotate over to the point. They managed to swing back with a couple of quick kills, but Mr. Gummy is there to kind of lock down the area, and Benchwarmers 0 gonna be able to come away with the first cap.
Yeah, we see that Kitsune got a lot of damage from that low ground. However, that Ashe, as we all know, is so much more effective on the high ground. It's so good at controlling space and using that dynamite to pile in lots of damage. So a little bit of a mistake on the approach there from Idiot Sandwich, and they might want to look back at that one for their engagement from Nepal.
Yeah, but now they're trying to go in a 5v6. They do have the Nano onto the Reinhardt, the fake FTD going in deep, able to find one kill onto the Mercy. The Pharah, not a problem anymore as well. So Idiot Sandwich has managed to fight this one back, and even with the Deadeye coming out from Icaros, no luck on the kills there, and this fight starting to get very, very scrappy, but it seems like Too Easy gonna be able to come out on top.
Yeah, however, there's just been a kill from the D.Va onto the Reinhardt from Benchwarmers. This fight's still messy, and while this all happens, percentage is ticking up for Benchwarmers, and they're just about 50% now.
And now some extra stall coming through, courtesy of that res, the immortality field. They got the Mei on the point, Reinhardt back into play. Mr. Gummy just trying to buy as much time as possible. They know that this fight is over, but they're still able to build up north of 2/3 on the point here. So off to a great start for Benchwarmers, but we're seeing a response now from Too Easy at this point.
Yeah, and Too Easy Idiot Sandwich now in a little bit of a better advantage than you might think. You know, they're behind 50% on the point, and that's what it takes to win. However, they've got 4 ultimates on the board, Graviton Surge and Blizzard being 2 major ones, and that self-destruct is just kind of gone by the wayside as well.
Oh, but that Shatter is absolutely not it. Fake FDD getting in deep, grabbing 2 kills for themselves, and an easy cleanup there for Idiot Sandwich. They commit a lot. All 4 of those ultimates you are talking about thrown into that fight, but it's worth it to get the flip back in their favor. They do give up some extra percentage there, and that could come back to bite them.
See, that would be a huge mistake, using all those 4 ultimates if Benchwarmers had anything online for this next fight, but they've not really got anything. They're close to that Earth Shatter, but yet again, Too Easy Idiot Sandwich quite build up an Earth Shatter of their own. They have the nano boost to apply to that Reinhardt, and they have a little bit more time now after that huge wall from Furia.
Yeah, that's an excellent setup for the fight, but still the Shatter coming down from Mr. Gummy, not going to result in many kills. As you said, the nano goes on to a fake FDD. They build up a Shatter of their own, and Too Easy able to hold on here. They repel the attack from Benchwarmers for now, but they've still got to keep this momentum rolling.
Yeah, now they're about to sort of tie up Benchwarmers into sort of how many fights they are away from winning. Now they've lost their ultimate advantage. It's going to be a test on engagement and how they deal with that ultimate coming from the opposition.
Yeah, that Amp Matrix out from Benchwarmers is giving them some presence on the point. That Deadeye able to deal with Kitsune, and now Icaros on the flank here, looking to get some more damage in as they control the point. Benchwarmers answer back here, the Maywall there at the end from Shadow Titan. Very, very good, and now they've got the Blizzard ready to go for this next fight.
Yeah, the Blizzard, but can't Too Easy Idiot Sandwich even touch?
No fight indeed. Wow, they got the flip pretty early on into that last engagement and really never even had to take a final fight. So well played by Benchwarmers. They control the point throughout. They play the objective really well, and they find themselves up 1-0.
Yeah, Benchwarmers, what they did well, I mean, they even set up for a final fight. They thought there was going to be a second fight as well, because they saved the Blizzard for the last fight. They didn't use it in the previous one, which meant they would still have that Blizzard for the last one, but they kept the point, and there was no final fight for Too Easy Idiot Sandwich. As we head into Sanctum, this map is going to be a little bit more bunkery, and it's going to be a bit more about displacement. So this might sort of fit into Too Easy Idiot Sandwich preferred hero pool of that forward Tracer that was listed to us, where the Tracer's really good at disrupting and getting picked, as is the Forest, so definitely works out for them.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Icaros here to try and keep Furia at bay, but I'm looking at Shadow Titan here on this Doomfist. What can they really get done? I mean, you're going to have that Far Mercy up in the sky. Not anymore, though. In fact, it's just going to be Rise with those cannons from the Wrecking Ball, able to take out that Far, get things started off well here for Benchwarmers. But now Shadow Titan in around the back, looking to be a distraction, looking to find some additional members, able to get the slam down onto Shad. And again, Benchwarmers coming out hot here, but Kitsune not just done in the fight just yet, trying to answer back. A nice ult there sets them up for a lot of damage. What? Oh my god, that's
the whole plus the grappling claw from the fake FDD. Wow, what a combination. Kitsune also getting in on that hole, getting a lot of damage in, and that one cooldown, just a singular 9-second cooldown from the Arisa onto Too Easy Idiot Sandwich, completely sways that fight.
Okay, well now let's see if they maybe can do it again. A Hulk could set Kitsune up for a Pulse Bomb, but he's just gonna go straight for the stick immediately. Takes down Icaros, but the res is there, so wasted, trades the ult for that crucial cooldown, and now the fight begins with the mines scattered around. Make up the looking for some potential knockouts again. No! Somehow gets this one, but trades his life for it, so that's not going to be necessarily a bad thing now for the defenders. Idiot Sandwich trying to hang on, but Shadow Titan falls to their death. Oh my god, it's just chaos on the point right now. Everybody's flying left and right. No one able to get a firm advantage right now. As Shad trying to keep this going for their team, just buying time on this Lucio eventually will fall to that Dynamite.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to try to go for as much percentage as possible, which is great of them to realize that. Their percentage just keeps ticking up. As long as this fight goes on, I think they will lose this OTZ this time.
Yeah, it seems like they will, but they've gotten what they were looking for out of this fight. They've gotten the stall so well. Half the team is still kind of in this one, keeping it going. They're going to get north of 80% at least before this finally comes down, and that's exactly what you're looking for, especially with the ult bank that you see for Too Easy Idiot Sandwich right now.
Yeah, both of these teams have severe ultimate advantage in this next fight. They both have a lot to invest. It's going to be about how they use those resources against the opposition's resources, but when your Genji goes down, it's going to be very difficult to engage. However, good trade from Kitson.
Yeah, Casper goes down, but rezzed up again. Holy Warrior has been so good on this Mercy, able to get those mid-fight rezzes and not be able to be disrupted by the side of Too Easy Idiot Sandwich. So we've got an even fight right now. Kitson just kind of dueling with the Wrecking Ball up underneath the point right now. Holy Warrior is there for the support. Now the mines drop down from the fake FD, and Furia breaking out the blade, going in deep, only finds one onto the Icarus, but that one will be permanent, and they're finding the rest of the damage now. The stick in onto the Rissa is going to seal the deal there. Too Easy Idiot Sandwich, and they clean up the fight.
Yeah, that sound barrier though was a little bit impromptu from Shell, which means they'll only have the nano boost online if Benchwarmers re-engage, and they have a pick and their supercharger ready to go.
They have lost their main tank though, so now gonna have to do this without Rise in the fold. Shadow Titan trying their best to find some opportunities. Gets a nice punch there onto the half map lap gap, and they
okay.
Come on, this is getting unreal. Fake FPD. This is unfair at this point. Managed to get another double kill there with the boots, but still the kills seem to be going in the direction of Benchwarmers 0. They've got that supercharger on the point. They're able to use it to full effect. They finally answer back. They keep themselves alive here on Sanctum, and now things get a little bit interesting.
Yeah, they were, presumably in last fight territory. They hit that magic number at 85%. However, with these fast-paced bold compositions, you can get back to the point and take a fight pretty quickly, and especially when you lose that Genji, it enables Benchwarmers to push things so much easier.
Definitely does now, but we got a duel up on the high ground. Kitsune trying to deal with his Ash, steals the health back, and that's a death sentence for Icarus there. But in the meantime, the rest of the team, Too Easy Idiot Sandwich finding the kills on the point. Furia dashing through. A fake FDD in the area as well. They find it all, and that should be all she wrote for Sanctum. Too Easy Idiot Sandwich answer back, and they're going to be able to tie things up.
Yeah, what a chaotic Nepal Sanctum. Nepal Sanctum, known for his chaos. The Idiot Sandwich just going to clean this up. There shouldn't be any more twists in the tail. That's our 10th environmental kill of the map, and I think that number speaks for itself.
Yeah, this was such an entertaining map to watch. Everybody flying off the edge at some point in the map, and Too Easy Idiot Sandwich, they get the better of it when it comes to those trades for the most part. I mean, we saw them open things up with that beautiful halt grapple combo from the tank line there, and that's exactly what I love to see. That level of coordination is hard to come by, but it really separates the best teams from those that aren't quite up to snuff right now.
Yeah, so let's go back to these compositions now, because we saw these compositions on the first round in Village, and we saw Benchwarmers run the Ryan Diva and get a little bit more value than Too Easy Idiot Sandwich did on the Ryan Zarya. However, this time, with this Ryan Zarya composition, you're running here like Echo, where Echo play a little bit more aggressive, maybe pop a bubble on that Echo, especially when they're using their ultimate, so you've got a little bit more offensive versatility with that particle barrier.
Plus, they've got the Lucio in the lineup, so the speed boost allows them to get really aggressive in these frontline fights. But so far, we've just got these two teams kind of trading poke right now. Shadow Titan and Furia just both kind of off on the edges, looking for an opportunity, looking for some shots in here. No one able to find anything just yet, but Zarya goes down, and that's a lot of the damage and the shielding kind of gone here with Fake FD falling as well. Benchwarmers Zeros have full control of the point. They're going to force 2Easy back and claim a pretty clean first fight.
Yeah, it was definitely really clean. I want to point out the difference again, but this time Benchwarmers Zero's off tank. So we saw the Fora Shadow Titan taking a duel with Fury of the Echo, and on that side with Viva's endless utility, Rise was able to come into that fight, take that duel with his Fora, use the defense matrix, use the boosters, and help to win that duel and ultimately win the fight.
Indeed, but now the nano boost in onto Fake FDD is giving them a chance to re-engage, gets knocked to the ground and melted immediately. The focus fire is beautiful from Benchwarmers Zero, and now Shadow Titan looking to chase down this kill. Can't quite stop the health pack from coming through, but it's not going to be too much of a problem with the main tank bomb. Benchwarmers Zero don't have a lot to worry about.
Yeah, and they now have built a huge ultimate advantage over to Easy Idiot Sandwich, who reset their ultimate economy a little bit by switching over to the Moira. And it's definitely a lot more difficult to push into these ultimates like Mirage and Deadeye, so difficult for Idiot Sandwich to even claim this hit.
Ooh, Icarus and Kitsune trading some damage there. Both of them fall very, very low, but will get healed back up. The barrage is in from Shadow Titan, melts Fake FTT, gets half the last gap as well. The tank line is gone, and even with Furia copying that Pharah on the Echo, there is nothing doing now for Idiot Sandwich.
Yeah, they lose that fight Idiot Sandwich and they invest 3 ultimates. And 2 of their most important ultimates in the Duplicate and the Graviton Surge. And why Duplicate is such a great ultimate is because you have so much utility with it. You can pick whatever hero you need at the moment. Sometimes mid-fight you're like, oh, I would really like an Ashe in this situation. Just copy them.
Okay, we're seeing another nano in on that Fake FDD, trying to get something going now for Idiot Sandwich. They have gotten Shadow Titan out of the sky. That's a big threat gone, and this flank from Kitsune is going to clean them all up. The flash is beautiful onto multiple supports. Takes up the triple kill there. Can they get one more for good measure? Finishes off Rise, and that is a work of art right there.
Yeah, Kitsune gets 4 kills on that McCree in that fight. The Benchwarmers, they managed to get up to 99%, bring it into last fight territory, so they only need one more fight win to even take this first map of Nepal, so they can just kind of set up for their ultimates, bait whatever win conditions Idiot Sandwich might have online, and then go from there. They have so much space and room to work with that sort of win condition online for them.
Yep. Furia and Kitsune, though, they team up to deal with Shadow Titan. Now Furia looking to deny the res. Oh, the concussion rocket is just a little bit misplaced there. Cannot quite stop Holy Warrior from getting that one off, and that could be big now because the advantage in numbers going back over to Benchwarmers Zero. They take out Furia, even with Mr. Gummy falling there. They've still got the numbers. They've got Shadow Titan working over the point. Fake FTD not ready to give this one up just yet, but the damage is overwhelming. Benchwarmers Zero, Icarus, and Shadow Titan chiming in on all fronts. They find the kills. They find the cleanup. The Deadeye for good measure, and Benchwarmers close it out.
Yeah, that was just kind of a battle on Nepal Shrine in particular of just the 2 McCrees. Who can get the better of those little jewels on that left-hand side? And realistically, Kitsune was sort of at a disadvantage the entire time when it came to those McCree jewels because that high ground was sort of given up for free after they lost that first fight. Icarus took full advantage, making sure that they can get those fights, but that was an insane contribute for FDD. Not enough to win them up though, but it's definitely enough to make the highlight reel.
For sure. I mean, you're going to be watching that one back for days and days and days if you are Fake FDD. That is an absolutely beautiful thing to watch, but they do find themselves on the back foot here. Benchwarmers Zero, they went down 3-0 in the upper bracket final, but already getting a map win on the board. They seem to kind of be rejuvenated after that win in the lower bracket final earlier today. They're coming in hot. Whereas Idiot Sandwich, this is their first series of the day. They're still kind of warming up, and they might have been caught off guard just a little bit there.
Yeah, and Idiot Sandwich, kind of been the favorites to win this EU Rookie tier for a long time. They've looked really, really strong in the matches they've played. And as we said, they 3-0'd Benchwarmers in the upper bracket final. So it hasn't really looked like Idiot Sandwich would be challenged yet. And here they are. Benchwarmers got some fine momentum, and they are challenging for this rookie title here in our grand finals.
Yeah, it's definitely surprising to see, given what we knew kind of coming into this. I mean, Idiot Sandwich, they'd only lost one match on the entire season coming into this. Once they got to the playoffs, they hadn't lost a single map. So this is a little bit of a surprise, but we'll see if they can answer back. It looks like we're headed over to Rialto for map number 2. So, this is going to be a test now for Idiot Sandwich to see how they respond.
So they go over to Rialto, which is their favorite escort map, but it is also Benchwarmers' favorite escort map. So both of these teams pretty comfortable on this escort map in particular, and it's gonna be interesting to see if Easy Idiot Sandwich come out with a different look in particular, because we kind of see all that Ryan Zarya just not be as good as the Ryan Diva, especially when it came to those DPS duels on that left-hand side, whether it was between the two McCrees or the Pharah versus Echo. That Diva helped a lot in those DPS duels, providing insane utility, defensive utility in particular for a team. And what I mean by defensive utility is you can use boosters to go back into your team and peel for your supports, and also you can use that defense matrix to block out a lot of damage. And that's sort of what I mean by defensive utility. It's either a shield or some sort of blocking mechanism or something to defend your team from opposition damage or opposition threats.
No, it definitely is a much more kind of versatile pick than the Zarya. I mean, maybe not necessarily as much raw damage, but if your team is able to hold their own in kind of that frontline fight, then the Diva over the course of a longer engagement just going to have so much opportunity to be everywhere at once and really, make their mark on the rest of the team. So it works out really well there for Benchwarmers 0. The compositions coming out strong, and now they're going to roll out with something that is a little bit more in line with kind of where the meta has been over the last couple of months. We've got the Orisa and the Sigma on this defense, breaking out the Orb for Shadow Titan as well. So I'm excited to see what he can get done on that pick.
Yeah, so both of these teams working for the Orisa Sigma. Different DPS lines though, so it looks to me we're going to see a little bit of a hit-gun duel, and, I was going to see the other duel between the two projectile heroes, but Furry has already won it.
Yeah, she just comes up big for her team there, able to get the opening pick, and that's just going to give them so much space now, and it's space that Kitsune able to put to good use. Finds the headshot onto Gross. That is all she wrote for that first fight. Idiot Sandwich pushing forward. Benchwarmers have to back off, but they'll be able to re-engage here towards the tail end of this choke. They just can't afford to lose anyone else as they push back in.
Yeah, Icarus could do a lot of damage with the high ground access in this courtyard section. However, they have to let Icarus obtain that high ground. It's going to be really difficult when Furia is getting close to that barrage.
Definitely, they're hunting for it. The quadra kill on the back end, make it 5 for Furia. They come in off the top rope, slide in behind Benchwarmers, and put an end to that defense.
Yeah, Furia getting the 5k though, paired up with that hold. And I really have to talk about those holds from Idiot Sandwich. It doesn't matter what tank player is giving them the holds. They have been sublime in setting up combos with not only the grappling call when they were playing with the wrecking ball, but with the barrage as well. They're just big chunky holds, and their team are doing so much with that utility or offensive utility Idiot Sandwich are providing right now.
Okay, but now Benchwarmers, they're going to set up for this defense. They've got control of this high ground corner, one of the best points to defend on this map, but getting pushed back a little bit for the time being. Their shields are broken. They're going to have to wait a little bit, especially with that Valkyrie that came out from Chad. Now the kill on to Mr. Gummy is going to give them license to push forward. Benchwarmers trying to fight this back. Shadow Titan in there with the ultimate is going to be able to find a couple, and they turn that fight around after a slow start. They commit the ultimates they need to stabilize.
I actually really like the patience there from Benchwarmers. They wait until they can take the fight that's right for them, right for their ultimates, and they take this fight on stairs, which is the most prolific place to hold on point B Rialto, because you have natural access to high ground, you have natural access to natural cover, and also you can use linear sight lines to get huge damage molten core, dynamite, amplification matrix, and that's exactly what they did, and they were able to win that fight just because of that huge decision making.
Yeah, the AoE damage we saw coming out from Benchwarmers 0 there, absolutely massive. Now let's see if Idiot Sandwich have anything in their back pocket to respond with. Kitsu already finding the opening pick onto Shadow Titans. That's a big source of damage gone, and now the Supercharger is the go signal for the attackers. Furia surging forward with that extra damage in play. Even the Transcendence not really going to be able to save Benchwarmers at the end of the day. With the barrage committed as well, it's an even trade there for Furia, and that's giving Benchwarmers a chance to fight back here. They've got the close response, they've got Shadow Titan back into this one. They take down fake FTD, and what seems like a lost fight is turning on its head.
Yeah, they look really good here. Idiot Sandwich, they got a lot of kills. They set up for the barrage and got that trade. However, it didn't really go their way after they got that res. The respawns came back for Benchwarmers and they were able to stabilize, and now they're in control. A little bit of a better ultimate advantage and the positional advantage on these stars, as talked about before. Idiot Sandwich going towards the Ryan Zarya, and I'm not sure how I feel about that one. That Zarya's going to struggle to get any sort of charge and damage put into the team, so 1 less damage and 2 less ultimate gain for that Zarya.
Indeed. Now let's see if they can make this work, though. But the Molten Core is keeping everyone at bay. Furia trying to poke with what little health she has in the backline, but already the Zarya chiming in, finding 1 kill onto the Rise there, and with the Bob on the point, that's kind of zoning Benchwarmers away from the cart right now. Furia and Shad are here to try and push this one on in. Oh, but the Immortality field from Casper gets there just in time to buy time for the re-engage. The Gravitic Flux from Rise should finish this one off, and it was so close for Idiot Sandwich.
Yeah, heroic Immortality field comes out for Benchwarmers 0, and they're able to touch the point and stop Idiot Sandwich from capping point B. And they do so in a nice way. They use their Hulks with their Gravitic Flux to make sure that that same ultimate gets full value, so they don't have to invest anything else, and they have ultimates online for this next fight.
The Bob in the backline from Icarus is buying some time, but they leave the car. Benchwarmers 0, they back off just a hair too far. Can't get there for the recontest, and it doesn't even matter which way this fight goes. At this point, the point has been captured. The respawns are set. Mission accomplished for Idiot Sandwich.
They invested ultimates as well. They used the Amplification Matrix on the ball, but they were unable to touch the point. And that could flip this grand finals on its head. Benchwarmers 0 look in prime position to make sure Idiot Sandwich got nowhere further than point B here on Real. So we might look back at that at the end of the series and go, that was the turning point. Idiot Sandwich were let back into the series by a Benchwarmers mistake.
Especially now with the ultimates coming online for Idiot Sandwich, they're going to have so many tools available coming into this next fight. They can keep the momentum going. They could just finish it off right here. The dynamite is huge from Kitsu. Furia hovering above, looking for an opportunity for that barrage. Has a couple of members over locked into this small room, but won't even need the ultimate. The card is going to cruise into the finish line, and Idiot Sandwich are able to finish off Rialto.
Yeah, Benchwarmers not even able to get off their Transcendence or Supercharger, which are 2 of the more potent ultimates in their roster lineup, but you have to feel that they just completely threw away that map with that C9 on point B. They had the ultimate advantage, they had the positional advantage, they had the numbers advantage in the fight. They just walked too far away from the car, and that mistake, as I said, could cost them. This is the grand finals. There's no messing about here. You cannot make mistakes like that. An Idiot Sandwich given a gift to come back into the series, and they take their gift, they smile nicely, take it with gratitude, and they also save up their extra money for an extra, I don't know, what do kids buy these days anymore?
Fidget spinners? Is that still a thing? I don't know. I'm old at this point. I do not understand the children anymore. So apologies for that. But
okay, so they're saving up for like an extra $100 like.
Yes, exactly. Super fancy. Real greased up ball bearings. All the good stuff. But now as we head into these extra rounds, I mean, I'm looking for Benchwarmers to try and kind of put that out of their mind, because it's so easy for something like that, a mistake like that, to kind of infect the morale and to bring you down a little bit. I want to see a quick response here from them. We'll see if they can make it work on their attack. We're going to have near mirror compositions this time around. It's just the Ana for Ultra Zaz versus that Baptiste for Casper. Already putting their favorite hero to good use here, able to win the duel out against Shadow Titan. And a couple of nice direct rockets set them up for a good first fight here, and that's going to mean that Benchwarmers 0 can't really even push forward that aggressively. They're trying to take some space here, but they've already kind of been slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah, it looks like most of this round is just going to be decided by the DPS, and there you go, 2 kills, 1 for either of the DPS on Benchwarmers as they try to wrap their way back into the offensive.
And they're off to a good start here. They've got the 6v4 advantage. The tanks are pushing forward. Icarus with another kill there is going to put you into this fight. Now the question for Idiot Sandwich is, did you play that too slowly? Did you lose members too late? Fake FDD going down is going to be a death sentence. There is no chance they can recontest at this point.
Yeah, point A, heading over to Benchwarmers 0, and that is actually the most common place to be held on Rialto, other than those stairs, you know. Rialto actually has the highest foothold rate in the entirety of the Overwatch game. It's kind of ridiculous how easy it is to hold in that courtyard. So they've got the hard back done. Now they've got to try and snowball for the rest of Rialto. They have the ultimates online, and they're only really dealing with Barrage and Nano Boost on the side of Idiot Sandwich.
And Idiot Sandwich, once again, going back to these comfort picks. They love running this Ryan Zarya, the boot. Yeah, it's unreal. They've got to be practicing. They've got to be trying for it at this point. The environmental kills have just been disgusting for Idiot Sandwich all series long, and it comes at a needed time. They've just got to take, time off of this clock at this point.
Well, that's a huge play for Idiot Sandwich, because it means that that ultimate economy advantage that Benchwarmers 0 had is kind of reset. They will have all 6 of their ultimates, but Idiot Sandwich allow themselves to have some time to build towards theirs as well. So if they can extend this next fight on, it'll be 6 versus 6 in the ultimates battle, and it'll make no difference.
But it's going to be some early ultimates committed here by Benchwarmers 0. They throw out the Flux. They're able to deal with the tank line of Benchwarmers 0. And it feels like we've seen that a lot throughout this series. Those 2 tanks dropping very early. They don't seem to have the staying power that the double shield combo brings. I
don't agree if this is Ryan Zarya choice at all, especially because that Zarya's never going to be charged up. Look at that Zarya's ultimate charge as the ball comes in, and they get someone to try to get a recontest here.
Yeah, they're going to use the barrage to try and make this happen. The Bob blocking it down on point means that they will be able to secure the team kill there in the end and buy a little bit more time, but they have to commit pretty hard to make it happen. And luckily, they get a lot of ults out of Benchwarmers 0 as well, which is nice for their trouble.
I think Benchwarmers already thought they had the plan. I don't think they expected it sound like to be able to re-engage, and they used both their support ultimates, so those ultimates gone for Benchwarmers, and Idiot Sandwich kind of taking a bit of an extra foothold in this match, despite their poor sort of tank matchup.
Yeah, now they're trying to control these stairs. Always a crucial position here on Rialto. Holy Warrior in a little bit of trouble here. Area gets up close and personal to finish off the kill, and now turns her sights to the rest of the Benchwarmers. That charge from Fake FDD is a thing of beauty, and they hang on once again here. Idiot Sandwich finally finding their footing a little bit on this defense.
Yeah, they find their footing. They're able to control that sort of star away, and they're able to have that positional advantage and sort of stabilize themselves. They're annoying control of this Rialto map. They're sort of in charge of their own destiny, as we contemplating some hero picks between the Pharah and the Ashe. I'm not too sure what's going on here. There we go, they're getting the Genji swap.
Okay, just the Genji swap though. That's all it's gonna be. The Ashe sticking around here for Icaros. It makes sense to go over to the Genji. We've seen it a lot in the recent meta. They'll swap Holy Warrior over to the Brig as a little bit of a good option in these brawly fights, but Shadow Titan caught out immediately, tries to go over the wall, get sneaky into the backline, but Kitsune ready for that one, deals with them easily, and now just free firing onto the retreating members of Benchwarmers here.
Yeah, Benchwarmers, they look a bit lost now. I'm wondering if nerves are starting to settle in now. They were trying to decipher who would play the Genji, what sort of competition they wanted to go for. They just seem to have lost any sort of comfortability they had there. They seem out of it now. They don't seem like they're in control of this series, despite them being in the lead.
Definitely, and now the grab and the barrage is in. Furia gets a double kill there, lays in so much damage over the course of that ultimate. Absolutely no response out from Benchwarmers 0. They try to use the flux at the same time, but nothing doing there for Rise and the rest of the team. What was once an astronomical time bank is now down to a minute.
Yeah, and with the distance that Benchwarmers have to travel to this objective, it's probably last fight territory. It's a bit even in the ult, so they do have an opportunity to win this fight. They're going to have to get maximum value of that.
That needs to come up big, but the nano out onto Fake FDD is letting him surge forward with impunity right now. Benchwarmers 0 can do nothing about it. The remaining members dive into the canal. And luckily for them, that fight was fast enough that they will get another opportunity here, but still, things are looking dire.
Yeah, they managed to keep both of their ultimates, and they also got a little bit of time to charge up towards that rally. However, they're about to slap, so their engagement is a little bit compromised as they head towards this final fight.
Now we're going to see the ultimates start flying here as Benchwarmers 0 just trying to hang on for dear life at this point. They throw out that amp matrix, but everybody from Idiot Sandwich just kind of backing off for the time being. They retreat around the corner, but Fake MTP cannot escape, and neither can the support. It's finally going in the direction of Benchwarmers 0, but I'm not so sure that we're not going to see another fight here.
Yeah, they do get a late stagger on the Furia, which means it's going to be really difficult for them to take a last fight on point B. They're looking to take this fight, they're looking to engage with the Lucio and the Reinhardt, and they will get that touch.
They gotta back off though. They cannot actually fight this one out. As soon as Shad goes down, there's no way. And now they don't have the speed boost to escape, so they're just gonna get hunted down here at least. Fake FDD will fall. Kitsune and the rest of the team look to escape with their lives, but they've already done so much work on this defense, taking that time bank all the way down. They're gonna be an advantage even if the Benchwarmers are able to finish out the match.
Yeah, they're giving an advantage, however. That mistake also might lead to Benchwarmers staying on the snowballs. They go for the Dragon Blade here.
Yeah, we'll see if Shadow Tide can get anything, gets antied, absolutely destroyed there as he tries to go in with the blade. Just pretty much solo at that point. Icarus does answer back, but it's not going to work out here for Benchwarmers 0 as Fake FDD able to win out that fight against Mr. Gummy, and now we're down to one last attempt here for Benchwarmers 0.
So Benchwarmers kind of building up to a lot of their ultimates, so what they're going to want to do is take a little bit of a slower fight and then build up to that rally. So they're sort of on an even playing field. They're kind of one ultimate down on Idiot Sandwich, so they want to play a little bit of a longer fight, spread their ultimates across, but looks like they're just going to go in this option.
The shatter, the sneaky shatter is absolutely massive. Fake FDD comes in from the top rope. Furia there with the barrage to close out the kills, gets to make it 3 on the fight. Nothing Mr. Gummy can do at this point, and Benchwarmers 0 cannot close out the fight. And that mistake, that C9 on point B of the defense comes back to haunt them.
Yeah, that mistake definitely cost them, as they would have held on point B, and they got past point B themselves, so they would be 2 up in the series right now. 2 up in this series is so important. You're a match point. You've put the opposition under so much pressure to get back into the series. Reverse sweeps are definitely not easy to pull off, and now it's 1-1. But now there's a break between maps. You have a chance to mentally reset yourself, and you have a chance to select the map that you're most comfortable on to bring yourself back into the series. And this has to be a good mental reset for Benchwarmers, otherwise they might be in trouble.
Yeah. The teams are taking a bit of a break to kind of reset after a really hectic first couple of maps, so we're going to do the same. We'll be right back after this with the remainder of the series. Welcome back, everyone, to the GitGud EU playoffs. We're in the grand finals of the rookie division. Benchwarmers 0 taking on Too Easy Idiot Sandwich. It's all knotted up at 1 apiece after 2 maps. We just saw Idiot Sandwich answer back on Rialto, and now we're ready to head into map number 3. It's gonna be Hollywood for our hybrid map today, and this is interesting to me. Neither of these teams listing Hollywood as their favorite hybrid map, but still, that's where Benchwarmers 0 want to take us.
I actually really like this decision from Benchwarmers 0. And what I'm going to sort of lean into now is the battle between the two off-tanks. As we see, Hap Maplip Gap tends to just sort of like playing that Zarya, and just that Zarya. Whereas we see Benchwarmers, their off-tank Rise is really, really good at the D.Va and the Sigma. So really good at those heroes that have a lot of defensive utility. So that's super cool for them. And going into Hollywood is a map with a lot of high ground, where you have to control that high ground to help your DPS pump up on both point A and point B. And point C is a little bit more directed about your Sigma sort of defensive utility. Typical double shield compositions are quite strong there. So that map pick really suits their off-tank player, in particular to Idiot Sandwich's player. I think that's where they're trying to gain an advantage, especially when Mr. Gummy's sort of struggling in that main tank duel.
No, for sure. It's been interesting to see Idiot Sandwich over the course of the series. They keep going back to that Ryan Zarya, and they told us, that's our favorite tanks to play for the most part. But it's not quite kind of the meta compositions that we're expecting normally as of right now, as Double Shield has kind of reigned supreme. So I just find it interesting that they've gone back to it time and time again, and they've had quite a bit of success with it. I mean, part of what turned around that Rialto defense for them was going over to the Ryan Zarya there on point B.
Yeah, they went over to the Ryan Zarya. They're more comfortable pick because they weren't as good as the Arista Sigma as Benchwarmers. Benchwarmers were better at that composition. One thing I do want to point out is pretty good understanding of the hero Sigma from Rise. As Rise was taking these off angles on Sigma, and this is something I swear to God, Overwatch League teams can't do properly. They don't know how to. They seriously, they can't get their Sigmas on off angles to get the maximum out of those hyperspheres and the damage and utility that Sigma can provide. And splitting your angles and using split pushes on double shield is what makes it effective, because you've got 2 shields. Which it's sort of like a DPS crossfire, having a Hanzo and a Widow from 2 different angles. You've got 2 tanks to deal with, 2 big, bulky tanks that have shields in front of them. And that's really, really difficult to deal with at every level of play. And I really like Rise taking these off angles, getting a little bit more into that Sigma hero, and that kind of forced Idiot Sandwich to go back to their comfortable Ryan Zarya pick.
Yeah, but this time it's going to be Benchwarmers 0 matching the Ryan Zarya. They're coming out on the defense first. They want to go extra brawly here. They've got the Mei, the McCree in the lineup, the Moira, and the Brig as their healing duo here. So they just want to get down and dirty, and we'll see if Furia can kind of punish this continuing to play this far up in the sky. No mercy to help her out this time, but the fight going to be taking place. The wall now down from Shadow Titan, but a lot of damage coming through from Fake FDD, and Kitsune coming up big with the triple kill. Stayed at kind of the main entrance of the map and able to clutch up in this fight.
Yeah, super clutch fight.
Just an excellent showing there from Too Easy Idiot Sandwich as they start things off really strongly once again. They're on a roll here after winning Rialto. They might have a little bit of momentum on their side, as now they're pushing forward into the streets phase, and we'll see what they can keep going now as they've got some ultimates coming online. That Shatter for Fake FDD, the Deadeye for Kitsune. We'll see if they can keep this going.
Yeah, they've kind of took a mental victory now as they forced Benchwarmers into that Ryan Zarya mirror matchup. And that's what you want. When you're comfortable in that Ryan Zarya competition, you want to force the opposition into it. You're really going to be better at it.
Oh, the coalescence is big now for Casper, able to let Benchwarmers push forward. A nice block onto the Shatter. Mr. Gummy able to stop Fake FDD from going crazy with that one. And Benchwarmers 0, they stabilize a little bit here. They answer back after the first fight doesn't go their way.
Yeah, so Benchwarmers fighting back with a vengeance. However, they lose a kill there. Zarya goes down, which means a little bit of uncomfortability, a little bit not formal with the hero. Gets picked up, an idiot sandwich will be able to claim their stride to walk forward yet again and put more pressure on Benchwarmers, who didn't really get much out of that break. They didn't really reset by the looks of it.
No, and losing that Zarya going to be crucial because now the snowball has started. Furia in with the barrage, picks up the double kill. And, you know, Benchwarmers 0, they've got to realize when there's a Pharah up in the sky, you are never safe from poke. And you know, it comes back to bite them a little bit there as Map Lap Gap goes down to the combo. One rocket from Furia, one headshot from Kitsune is all it takes to delete them off the map and get that ball rolling downhill.
So what Pharah is insanely good at is controlling areas and controlling spaces of the map where Benchwarmers, they can't go into that space. Otherwise, they're taking a butt ton of damage and they're probably going to go down. So what they need to do is they need to take space around the map that allows their hit scan to get an angle onto that Pharah and get that kill. And then once they claim that kill, they have a huge advantage. They can go into that fight, engage efficiently, and make sure they take down the rest of the team. That's what they have to look to do if they're going to get back into the series at all.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're Benchwarmer 0 here, you know, what kind of positions are you looking to take against a Pharah, especially here on like the streets phase of Hollywood? What could they have done to kind of keep Furia at bay?
You're going to want to get that McCree on the high ground. If not, go to a Widowmaker or Ashe, who have a little bit more utility to give access to the high ground. They're able to gain that on their own instead of having to use it on maybe a tank player or a support player to even bring that McCree up to the high ground. However, I think they've just been grabbed off points.
Yeah, and the fight happening at the choke there. The Blizzard is going to be committed by Shadow Titan to try and recontest. That's absolutely brutal to lose that team fighting ultimate for Benchwarmer 0 and still lose out on the fight. Even as Rise gets a little bit of a consolation kill, it is not going to matter at all. It's too easy, idiot sandwich. They are just on a roll right now. They really found themselves after a slow start to this series. They are coming online, and you know, now they've got the matchup that they want in that tank line, and they are just kind of bullying Benchwarmers.
I'm sensing a little bit of a theme on point B. A mistake from Benchwarmer 0, leading to potential snowball. The ultimate throw line for the instant timer. That's a huge kill and a huge grab on for Benchwarmers.
Yeah, but they can't quite clean up any kills until Mr. Gummy comes through, finds 3 at the end. And now Benchwarmer 0 will be able to stabilize a little bit here, but they've got so long to hold out on this defense. This is going to be a tall task. 4 minutes still remain for Idiot Sandwich to work with.
Yeah, that time bank looking extra cool right now for them, and the ultimate advantage is apparent for them as Benchwarmers going back to the top of the right team, but not in time to delete that Gravitron Surge.
No, and the barrage to follow it up is pretty clean. Furia will fall in the end, and now the remaining members of Benchwarmers trying to escape towards the spawn. Shadow Titan barely able to get there, but now the payload almost to the end of the map. They'll have one last chance to get in here. The Shatter lays a couple of members on their backs. The Nano in onto the fake FTC, and you know, now this is looking all Idiot Sandwich here. They've got Furia back on the Genji, slashing and dashing their way through the Benchwarmers, and that is a blistering pace here on Hollywood.
Yeah, 3 minutes 18 on the clock is a fantastic time bank for Hollywood. And this is Benchwarmers' map pick. They picked them up, presumably based on the fact they will be able to play their tanks, use their defensive utility advantage, because that makes Idiot Sandwich uncomfortable. But they opted into this Ryan Zarya mismatch duel that they're just not good at, or they're not as good at Idiot Sandwich at. And, huge mistake for Benchwarmers. And they were just never able to get going, never able to stabilize on point B. They invest the Blizzard and the Coalescence when they try to re-engage, and they can't even get on the point again. You have to feel, ever since that C9 on Realm to the series has been flipped on its head, and Benchwarmers haven't been able to find anything since then.
Yeah, and to me, it felt like the Benchwarmers could feel things start to like slip out of their grasp. As soon as they lost that first fight incredibly quickly, they answered back. But as soon as Gap went down to that kind of late stagger kill that got the snowball started on point B, it just felt like they were grasping at straws, trying to hold on to something. And they kept overcommitting to fights that they couldn't win, and it comes back to bite them pretty hard. Now, though, they've got to put it out of their minds. They've got to try and make something happen on this attack, and they at the very least need to finish the map with time remaining.
Something interesting to note is, just with the composition they're going with, they're now sort of putting resources into their DPS, trying to win those DPS shields. They're going into the form of Creeper, but they've got the mercy to give resources to those DPS when they need them.
Yeah, but still Fury wants to take the duel, and Kitsune there to help out, able to deal with Shadow Titan. Falls in a place where the res is totally impossible, even for Holy Warrior, as good as they've been all series long. Now, Chad oversteps a little bit, gets punished by Casper there towards the tail end of this fight, and that's going to mean Idiot Sandwich having to back off just a little bit here. They give up the choke, but they do waste a lot of time. They take down Rise there, and they're still fighting this one out.
Yeah, one thing to know is that Zarya is heavily forced up to more damage to deal with 4 Benchwarmers. That I pulled it pretty quickly to zone them out, so a little bit of time off the clock with that.
Yeah, and that's going to allow them to get Shad back into this one. So a clean fight here. But Shadow Titan goes down again. Furia this time landing the connection. Those DPS on the side of Too Easy. They're teaming up well to deal with the Bara, but Icarus answers back. The Deadeye through the Amp Matrix, able to deal with Furia. And now with Rise getting Kitsune out of the way, it is all on the Zarya for this damage, but they get shattered down. They get pinned into the back line, and the rest of the fight all going the direction of Benchwarmers.
Yeah, so a lot of that just comes down to them using their ultimates better, but can't really blame Idiot Sandwich. They had to use their ultimates early on to get time for their Lucio to come back so they could take an I-6v6. And Benchwarmers, they used their ultimates well. They used the Earth Shatter to get rid of the Nano Zarya, which was posing a great threat at the time. They also use their Amplification Matrix at a great time to get a lot of damage and a lot of kills, and then Rise is able to use that utility to get that opposition healer out of the way. And although they got point A, they're not really gaining anything in the point B here.
Yeah, but that ball might just change things there. Rise with the triple kill. Fake FTD having to retreat with the charge there. Mr. Gummy, that is an ill-advised Shatter. Just wanted to deal with their opposite number, not allow the retreat to come through. Will eventually hunt down that kill, but the ultimate invested probably wants that one back.
Rise has looked so good in this series on the Diva and the Sigma. I will keep singing their praises because they are due. And if Benchwarmers are to get back in this series, that Soul Destruct and that Sigma play from earlier is definitely going to help them.
Now the barrage from Shadow Titan comes in, can't find anything, but Kitsune able to deal with 2. Gets the Deadeye down, now finding more, but no one else on the side of Idiot Sandwich able to do a darn thing. They're all cleaned up, swept off the cart, and even with this recontest from the fake FTD, there's no chance of turning this one around. That's point B going over to Benchwarmers.
Yeah, they set up for that Deadeye nicely, and Kitsune takes full advantage and gets some kills. However, the rest of the team was dissipating, just out of position, making mistakes that you shouldn't be making, and therefore picked up yet again. And Benchwarmers, they've been let back in. They've been given a lifeline. They've been given an opportunity to get back into this Hollywood map. And they're about to win this Forjo as well, which gives them a lot of space.
But Kitsune able to answer back, so we're still even on the DPS, and he just keeps on going. This McCree battle has been one to watch all series long, and it's going in the direction of Idiot Sandwich right now, but Fake FTD dives in a little too deep with that charge, and now the Deadeye out from Icarus, able to deal with the Zarya as well. Idiot Sandwich on the retreat, trying to back out of this one with their lives, but Kitsune not going to be allowed to do so, and Benchwarmers keep the momentum going. They had a huge time bank on the opposite side to try and match, but they are making a go of it.
Yeah, you have to feel they got a little bit greedy there. Especially because
Furia?
more on that barrage.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, the kitchen's got the Deadeye here. Gets the mercy. That's the huge pick that they needed.
That is going to help save them here, especially now as Icarus isolated away from the rest of the team. They're able to collapse in onto that kill, and even with the double kill from Mr. Gummy, this might not be over just yet. Now, Shadow Titan looking for more of that damage, but they're able to get the main tank. Benchwarmers gonna have to back off here. They were so close to finishing that one out, but just cannot quite do it.
Yeah, they finally stabilize at the end of point C here. They haven't got much online though of Idiot Sandwich, and they've got to contest a couple ultimates from Benchwarmers, so Benchwarmers, they have an opportunity to get back in this series, and now's the time to take it.
And Shadow Titan looking for an opportunity to go for this barrage, gets hit with some of those sticky bombs, so forced back a little bit. Furia watching the flank at all times, ready to deal with that barrage, put the bomb in at the same time. Stops that cancellation. Shadow Titan gets Rez back into the fight, and that should really be it here. They've just got to clean up Shad to get this cart across the finish line, and you know that is a great answer there from Benchwarmers. Sure, they're going to be behind a minute, but after the way the defense wins, they've got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and we see again that they go over to this Ryan Diva composition. They're so much better at it. Like seriously, I cannot give that much credit to Rise on the Diva.
Mm-hmm.
It's changing series. Their DPS are getting more kills when Rise is on the Diva. Their Reinhardt is able to take more space when Rise is on the Diva. Their supports are dying less when Rise is on the Diva. If they can play that style and use it to their advantage, they have a great chance of bringing it back. So as long as they don't lose their identity for the rest of this map and the rest of the series, they definitely have a chance of taking it to Idiot Sandwich. However, if they do lose that identity, they are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do on the attack first, but I'm more interested to see what Benchwarmers will roll out with on the defense. That's where things kind of went wrong for them the first time around. They tried to match the Zarya, and they weren't quite up to the task. But now they answer back on the attack. They come through and are able to finish the map with a really solid time bank of their own, now down a minute going into extra rounds. But if they can put together an offense like they had the last time around, then this map still very much within reach for the Benchwarmers.
Yeah, they have to come up with an answer though to get soon on the McCree, who is getting a lot of kills with these Deadeyes, especially onto the Thor and the Mercy. And if they can stop their Mercy and Thor getting picked up a little bit more, maybe using that defense matrix on that Deadeye, they will have a great chance of getting back into this series.
When Furia falls this time around, it's Benchwarmers able to win out that DPS pool. Icarus chiming in to help out Shadow Titan, and the difference now, as the Pharah falls, the res is available for Holy War, so still numbers advantage for the Benchwarmers here, and they use that. They take down the main tank, and that's the go signal. They're pushing in on the point. They're taking this space, and so far they're able to kind of shunt Too Easy Idiot Sandwich back towards the cafe. They haven't been able to finish off these kills, and Furia on the flank here could be a deadly opportunity for him, but the attention is all onto the soldier and nothing going now. Benchwarmers, they punch through point A.
Oh, with that late stagger, Furia's going to get the late spawn, which means they're unable to hold at the corner just past the gate, which is a really nice place to hold, especially when we're going into sort of extra innings. That's like a very common place to hold after you lose point A. So you lose that option, Furia going to go over to the Ash to try and put all resources into taking down Shadow Titan. However, Icarus has that Deadeye on the McCree.
And both the Deadeye is going to come out now from Kitsune, just pushing forward, zoning Benchwarmers off the cart. That was a dangerous fly there from Holy Warrior. Does escape with their life, and Icarus the one to find something with the Deadeye. So now Benchwarmers pushing forward. They've got this Zarya isolated. Mr. Gummy able to continue taking all of the space on the Reinhardt, and the momentum continues for the Benchwarmers.
Have the momentum, and then I have the ultimates as well. They will have the Barrage, the Earthshock, and the Self-Destruct online in the next fight. If they can contest the Graviton Surge and the Sport Ultimate, they'll have a great chance of finishing Hollywood.
Indeed they will. The Sound Bearer gonna let them get really aggressive. The The counter shatter though from Mr. Gummy, keeping Benchwarmers in the fight, but now this Deadeye from the back line is gonna seal the deal. Kitsune able to deal with the mech of Rise, and that's all she wrote for that attack. But still, Benchwarmers able to push well into point B. They get some distance on the board, and they've given themselves a shot here on Hollywood.
They've given themselves a chance of getting back towards this map. You know, that first round was extremely poor for them. They've worked the way back, and now they've sort of set a win condition for themselves. They have the opportunity to get back in this map, but it ain't so much. They know where they need to get the point to. They can set themselves up for those sort of fights that they want to take to get their goal. And Benchwarmers, I mean, they look good there for that last fight. They got a really nice Shatter Self-Destruct combo going off, but Idiot Sandwich just had the better ultimates in the end now. Were able to take that last fight, and that last fight is always the most critical one as we head into our fourth round of Hollywood.
Yeah, that grab sound barrier engage is just kind of overwhelming if executed anywhere close to properly. And that's exactly what happens there as Too Easy Idiot Sandwich able to put a stop to that push. But now comes the crucial moment here. And we see Rise again back on the D.Va, not going to try to go for the Zarya this time around. And that might have been part of what sank them the last time. So we'll see if they can, deal with this a little bit better this time around.
Yeah, we'll see how they decide to take their offense, now the defense decide to run this main composition again. They struggle with it originally. Of course, we remember that poor Blizzard as they went to re-engage on point B. So hopefully they can run this Blizzard population a little bit better.
Indeed, we're going to see the rotation from Idiot Sandwich around the backside over towards the Mega Health Pack room as they wait for this fight, but they try to go for the same strategy. They leave Kitsune at the main entrance waiting for the flank, but Benchwarmers, they're ready for it. They charge at him, they deal with the McCree, and now they're looking to clean up the rest of this fight, just going in with the Brawl comp now. Map got very, very low, eventually will get chased down. No Zarya in the fight now for Too Easy Idiot Sandwich, and Benchwarmers, they've got the rest of them pinned back in behind the point. This is a disastrous first push for Idiot Sandwich.
Yeah, and with that first push, Benchwarmers are able to roll up a couple of their ultimates. They will have the Arc Shatter online, and the adaptation is absolutely amazing from Benchwarmers. First, the adaptation just to go back to what they're comfortable with that Ryan David composition, and secondly, the adaptation to know that Kitsune's going to be left in that main choke. The adaptation to make sure they do what they're comfortable with and not take the duel on the side, but they take the duel with just the McCree and take the fight advantage from that.
Yeah, so this one's just going to be a bit more straight up as the Nano Ryan comes in. Big FDD getting the better of that duel. The Zarya bubble helping him go in deep there. And now Furia in the back line goes for the barrage, but shut down immediately, only finding one. Now Rise has this self-destruct ready to go, but looking to potentially hang on to it as the teammates, Benchwarmers, kind of cleaning up the remainder of this fight. Kitsune's still behind enemy lines and will be dealt with as Icarus finishes off that kill. And now Benchwarmers, they are the ones in control.
Yeah, they are in control as we're heading towards maybe 1 or 2 fight territory for Benchwarmers, or sort of Benchwarmers defense. And it's going to have that self-destruct online after getting that remake. And they're going to use the Matrix to try and whittle down the time bank for Idiot Sandwich.
And it buys time and it buys some kills. The fire strike through the Ant Matrix so deadly. One-shot kill there onto Shad, and no supports remain in the lineup for Idiot Sandwich. So they're just going to have to back off towards the choke, avoid losing any staggered kills now, and go for one last attempt.
It's great to get time for the Zarya and Idiot Sandwich to build that Graviton Surge. Otherwise, there's no hope in hell they will win this one. Too many ultimates online for Benchwarmers here otherwise.
Oh, the Deadeye coming around the corner. Can he find anything? Kitsune not going to connect on that one. The Blizzard, the self-destruct finds Shad just before the sound barrier is online, even with the grab ready to go now. I don't think it's going to be enough. Frozen up is the Zarya, and the wall blocking everybody from even touching point here. The boop will deny it, and Benchwarmers, after a disastrous first defense on this map, they come back, they adjust, and they're able to get the full hold.
Yeah, they show fantastic mental fortitude to do that. First, the C9 on the ult, so I would keep going back to the moment because it's so critical in this series. So they reset themselves after, you know, they force themselves onto that Ryan Zarya, which they're not comfortable with. And they come back, they go back, they do reset themselves, this time mid-map. And they show fantastic mental fortitude to bring themselves back into Hollywood and bring their lead back in this series. It's like match point for Benchwarmers.
That was a joy to watch from start to finish. I really loved seeing, you know, the DPS show up for Idiot Sandwich early on in that map. But Benchwarmers, they kind of adjust the way that they're playing to kind of keep Kitsune and Furia in check a little bit. I mean, Rise going over to the Diva, a big part of that to be sure. But they're able to respond really, really nicely, and now they've got themselves up to match point, to, you know, event point. This is it. If they win one more map, the Benchwarmers will be your champions.
Yeah, this is the grand final. They may have lost that upper bracket matchup, but this is the grand final. This is the one that matters. Mm-hmm. And you're 2-1 up. You have a chance to win it right here, right now, against a team that you lost before to. It's an awesome opportunity for them. I'm so excited to bring you their story if they take it.
Yeah, this is going to be fantastic, and it's going to be Hanamura to decide it all. I believe both of these teams listed that as their favorite assault map. So we should have a good one on our hands here to potentially close things out. Of course, Too Easy Idiot Sandwich going to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening. But that's easier said than done right now, as Benchwarmers seem to kind of be figuring them out a little bit.
Yeah, Benchwarmers in particular not have a huge advantage because all of the assault maps in our map pool, Anubis, Hanamura, and Volsky are all very potent Diva maps. They're all really difficult for Zarya to get a huge advantage on because there's so much high ground in and around the map, particularly on the map we're going to, Hanamura Point B. In particular, there's so much high ground for the Diva to get maximum value out of her utility with her boosters and her defense matrix. It's going to be really difficult for Idiot Sandwich to play into the matchup they're not good at.
No, and I that kind of makes me wonder at this point if Idiot Sandwich are prepared to try and swap things up at all here. We've seen a little bit of the Orisa as the main tank for them throughout the series, occasionally with the Sigma, earlier with the Wrecking Ball on the Paul, and it's been hit or miss for them. They've been, you know, well coordinated on some of the halts, but overall the team just doesn't seem to function as well when they're not running that Ryan Zarya. So I'm going to be curious if they stick with kind of their comfort picks here with their backs against the wall.
I actually wouldn't mind them going back to Orisa Wrecking Ball. It's something different to throw at Benchwarmers. It's something different that they're going to have to adapt to. And when it comes to these assault maps, it normally comes down to time bank and how you capture those first 2 points and then go to additional innings. And then can you even win the map? You know, have you capped in overtime, that sort of stuff. And maybe just throwing something that forces Benchwarmers to adapt, like the Orisa Wrecking Ball composition that they also were very, very, very good at. Though despite it not being a very solid composition and stable composition, they might be able to get some value out of it.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. They're going to roll out on the attack first, so I won't be surprised at all to see the Ryan Zarya yet again. But they might be throwing a little bit of a curveball here with Furia on this Symmetra. It's going to be scouted out, I'm pretty sure, if Mr. Gummy sees it coming out of the spawn. Probably won't, actually, so they might not be prepared for this on the side of Benchwarmers for the TP strats.
Yeah, they're either going to go to the high ground or the point. Let's see where they go.
High ground it is for Idiot Sandwich, so Benchwarmers just going to kind of back off towards the point. They will be fighting from the low ground on this, but Kitsune, again, off on the flank left at the main choke point by the rest of the team, looking to get that damage from afar, and this time the distraction has been good enough here. Shadow Titan falls really early here for Benchwarmers 0, and with that Symmetra charging up in a big way, Kitsune now able to find the triple kill, and that's going to be it. Idiot Sandwich, they needed to respond here on Hanamura. They need to win this map, and they've started off on the right foot.
Yeah, they started off nicely. I like the symmetric teleporter to the high ground because that gives a little more space to Kitsun on the Ash, whether they decide to stay in like they did, or just teleport to that high ground. They have that nice high ground angle. But more importantly, the Mei for Benchwarmers caught out of position and unable to build up towards that blizzard for one, and two, it's a pick for the offense on first point on an assault map. Your respawn advantage for the offense is massive. You're not going to be able to come back and recontest. Idiot Sandwich take advantage and take point A.
And now they're going to have pretty free access to this high ground now. No contest coming through from Benchwarmers. The TP is going to give them a couple kind of alternate angles to work with as they drop in onto the point. But Icaros able to find a couple of quick kills. Both DPS gone on the side of Idiot Sandwich. And even with the Boostio in play, that is not going to be enough. They commit the grab as well. I'm not so sure about this one out of Too Easy Idiot Sandwich, and they're gonna wish they could have some of those back.
Maybe it isn't Too Easy. Maybe they are the Idiot Sandwich. Maybe that's what's happening with their team name here. It's come back to bite them. It's meant to be an insult for the opponent, but they've just insulted themselves, and they're gonna want that Graviton Surge back, that vital ultimate tool that they just won't have for this next fight, as now you've allowed the defense to build up their ultimates, and also all potential is kind of lost.
Okay, they're going to use the sim wall to try and move in onto the point. They very nearly get that opening tick, but the Blizzard has zoned everybody away. The self-destruct from Rise finds one, and the Deadeye up on the high ground is absolutely deadly from Icaros. And now, there is nothing doing here for Idiot Sandwich. They're just going to be repelled relatively easily.
I think Benchwarmers here are going to want that Deadeye back. They kind of had that fight wrapped up once they took that opening pick on the Symmetro with the Blizzard and Self-Destruct combo, despite the Symmetro Photon Barrier being up. Because, I mean, once you have that pick, that first pick on defense, you have a huge advantage because your respawn advantage is so huge. Your spawn's right next to the point, and that's going to be a huge advantage for them. So maybe that next scenario.
Yeah, the wall there from Shadow Titan, absolutely massive. The Shatter, even bigger there. Mr. Gummy coming up huge in this fight, and that's an easy one for Benchwarmers 0.
Yeah, there's one ultimate expanded in that fight as well, and when you win fights, traditionally build a lot of ultimate charge because you're doing a little bit more damage than the opposition. That's generally how you win the game. You usually shoot the opponent more than they shoot you. So when you're shooting the opponent more, you do more damage, you build more ultimates, and I mean, when you're winning fights, you're doing more damage, you're getting your ultimates. It's working out for them all that.
Interesting to see that Benchwarmers committed the sound barrier to that last fight. That's one tool they're not going to have here to try and survive this Shatter, this Nano out from fake FTT. The Immortality Field is good to buy a little bit of time, but it cannot save Icaros. More Mr. Gummy is now Idiot Sandwich getting all the kills here. It's just Rise trying to kind of keep this going with the Diva now, as Pilot Diva can't really get a lot done, but somehow staying alive in the thick of this fight. I don't know how Benchwarmers are doing this, but the Blade might just put an end to it. Furia pushing towards the spawn doors will finish off Icaros, and that should be the cap.
Yeah, they used that sound barrier in the last fight a little bit preemptively, and that means they don't have it for the Dragon Blade or the Earth Shatter. However, the Skull's coming in for the defense. I believe they are quite close to some ultimates here.
Yeah, the grab does help Idiot Sandwich clean up a couple of quick kills. Shadow Titan falls as well. And even with the stall coming through here, they need to find kills if they want to turn this fight around. And so far, that just is not happening here. It's just Holy Warrior trying to keep this one going. Cannot stick on the point. And after a slight delay, Too Easy Idiot Sandwich able to finish things off on Juanamora. They put 2 points on the board as they look to tie up the series once again.
Yeah, however, you have to credit Benchwarmers because they got a lot of time off the initial time bank that Idiot Sandwich did have going into point B. You know the 6-minute time bank they had after that really fast point A offense, and they did whittle down that time bank, which means that they now have a win condition for themselves. That's the advantage of defending first for Benchwarmers, and now they have to think about what they want to do in the offense. They go for a similar sim TP strat, which is really effective on the first point, and then they have huge snowball potential. But if they lose that snowball potential, then they have to think about going for a completely different approach and maybe lowering their time bank if they want to cap point B, or do they go for the more consistent approach, take a more stable first fight, and then try and snowball with a huge ultimate advantage later on.
Definitely, but now we're going to see a slight variation, a little bit of a change of pace here for Idiot Sandwich. Furia going over to the Mei for this defense. Obviously, a really strong pick in kind of the choke point here, playing around the courtyard. The walls can be so powerful, and you know, I like the fact that they are switching things up, playing towards the map that they find themselves on, and we'll see how Furia can execute on this pick.
Yeah, Furia on a pick that they haven't used so far in this series, however. It kind of bodes well for the mirror matchup. Oh, FTD's hiding.
They don't notice! They don't notice! Oh, they noticed! They noticed! Fake FTD in some trouble now. Can the team come to the rescue? It's not going to happen. And that is a potential death blow now for Idiot Sandwich. Makes this push so much easier. The fire strike and the kill for Mikaros coming in, and that's gonna be it. No chance now for Idiot Sandwich to answer back. They go for the aggressive, sneaky play, and it just does not work.
I think they found him when they put the shield up. You know, that big rectangle that they have. You know, that Reinhardt has, that big mass. I don't think they could have missed that. He put his shield up when he was hiding there. So Benchwarmers able to identify that and get the kill, and I don't understand why you would go for that ballsy of a play. This is the grand finals, your opponent is on match point, and you've handed them a huge advantage here on an assault map. And it's really not looking good here for Idiot Sandwich.
Now, and Furia immediately gives up on the Mei as well. Now going over to the Genji. We've seen some good things out of her already in this series on that pick. We'll see if they can do it again, because now Idiot Sandwich, they need to respond. They cannot afford to let this fight slip away from them. But already Furia is down. The coalescence from Casper able to finish off that kill, and losing fake FTD as well is going to spell some trouble now for Idiot Sandwich there. They're falling left and right. They've given up a tick already. The Zarya cannot build up to that Graviton Surge, even with Kitsune up on the high ground. No kills are coming through, and this just might be an insanely fast time for Benchwarmers.
Yeah, that all comes back to FTT going for this aggressive ballsy play, making the mistake in that room, getting found out, getting hurt. An incredible adaptation from Benchwarmers to make sure that they get that kill. And then with all the damage they did in the previous fight, their ultimates were charged up more. They used them perfectly, and that's a massive time bank as they head towards potentially the grand finals map win.
And that's just brutal right there for Idiot Sandwich. After what was a pretty solid attack the first time around, you come out and you completely fall flat on your face on the defense. And you know, the risk reward for that early play doesn't seem to match up, at least in my estimation. It cost them the snowball there as Benchwarmers surged through the map, and now Idiot Sandwich, this is where you got to dig deep, because your backs are against the wall. You are down to your last attempt here. I mean, this is going to need to be an attack to behold if they're going to be able to come back in this.
Yeah, they're going to have to come up with something quickly. They do. Both have efficient time banks, though, so we'll see how that goes. But you have to think about that mistake and consistently go back to it, because that is another pendulum swing in this finals match. They cap with 2 minutes of the time bank, and now they're at a severe disadvantage.
Definitely the TP strat, again, out from Idiot Sandwich. It worked out well for them the last time around. We'll see if they can replicate it this time. They're going to need to be pretty quick. Shadow Titan playing a little bit more carefully this time, looking for those walls. Cannot quite hit it, but will buy a little bit of time. Kitsune on an interesting flank angle now, goes around the side as the brawl commences. That Immortality field is nice to buy some time for Benchwarmers 0, but still Mr. Gummy falls incredibly early, and this is exactly what Too Easy Idiot Sandwich needed. They needed to answer very quickly here, and they're going to be able to get point A relatively easy.
Yeah, they use the mana boost though on point A, which means they won't have it for point B, and realistically they have to get 4 points if they want to win this map, and even win this series if we put it that far in retrospect. And even better for Benchwarmers though. Despite them losing that point, they now have an advantage on point B because they're running the D.Va. They have the ability to play around that high ground. On that first point, you kind of lose the ability to play around high ground because there's not much effective high ground that the D.Va can play around. So the Zarya has the advantage. So Idiot Sandwich, we're always really going to take that first point. However, with that nano boost used and the advantage now in the composition of Benchwarmers, it's looking pretty good for them.
And they get the isolation there onto fake FDD. The wall is huge. The Deadeye is bigger. Ikaros finds 3. Kitsu not able to do anything with his own Deadeye, and that's going to be Idiot Sandwich repelled for the time being. And sadly, they commit several ultimates to that fight as well.
I think this is really done for Idiot Sandwich. They're going to have to hope for a miracle on their defense that they somehow full hold with that massive timeout that Benchwarmers 0 have 5 minutes and 6 seconds. However, they do have an Earth Shatter. All hope isn't lost for them. If they can hit a massive Earth Shatter, they may still have a chance of at least getting some progress on point B Hanamura.
A lot going to be on the shoulders of the fake FDD. Is, you know, they try to push in here, trying to make a last-ditch attempt, but look, Shadow Titan already up above this choke point, waiting to wall off anyone who steps a foot out of line. They've got the Blizzard nearly ready as well. And with the Immortality, or the Amp Matrix probably going to be dropped on that high ground, it's hard to see Benchwarmers losing this fight unless they make some kind of massive mistake, because even for the Shatter to hit big, they've got to be grouped up and on the point. And right now they're set up in the exact opposite location.
Yeah, some sort of rotation is going to have to be forced, and FDD is going to have to make up for that huge mistake that he made on their defense. I still don't understand the logic behind that. And this is a grand finals matchup, and you cannot make decisions like that, and especially when it's not going to pay off.
No, and I mean, on some level, like to me, making a play like that, it feels like you are kind of conceding something to your opponent. Like, hey, you have been better than us over the last couple of several maps. You have shown that we have a hard time with this, that we try to go for something cheesy. Now too easy at Sandwich. They're just going to dive right onto the point, try to make something happen. The Shatter is in onto Mr. Gummy. Can they find the kill? The Immortality Field saving the Reinhardt, and now the Blizzard is down. The Frozen Death is all around as Benchwarmers cleaning up this fight quite nicely. No one able to trigger the overtime. Benchwarmers defense is beautiful.
The win condition is set. Can Benchwarmers complete their story? They lost in the upper bracket 3. It wasn't even close the last time they played Idiot Sandwich. And today they have just been on fire. They played their lower bracket matchup earlier today. They won 3-2 in a 6-map series. And now they have the opportunity to win it all. All they have to do is get a tick on point B.
So, and they're their 10th map of the day. We'll see if this will be the last for them, as Too Easy Idiot Sandwich now is where you've got to dig incredibly deep. If you want to win this map, it's got to be a full hold. But at this point, on some level, I feel like you've got to be kind of playing for the draw. Getting a 5-minute hold on point A would be the stuff of legends, but that is not an easy thing to accomplish at all. So we'll see if Idiot Sandwich can come up clutch here. They're out of second chances. It's got to be now.
I will absolutely lose it if FTD is heading in that spot again. Like, please no, just no shenanigans. Play like you're in it to win it. They have to play like they're in it to win it. Like, if they get a draw here, we just go on to the next map. It doesn't really make a difference. This is a first 2-3 series, so a draw doesn't really make a difference for them. If they win the map, that's great, but a draw seems like the realistic option. I wonder if they can show that discipline to not use their ultimates on point A and try and win the map, but try and get that draw to make sure that they have a chance in this series.
Yeah, they feel their chances melting away like that snowman. Now Benchwarmers looking to close out this series. We've got a strange fight in this stairwell right now, and it is not working out for Idiot Sandwich. They lose both their DPS. now everybody else falling to the wayside. That's point A, done and dusted. It's all about the potential tie now for Too Easy Idiot Sandwich, and they are going to be behind the 8 ball for sure.
That's not what Idiot Sandwich is. They need to play consistently. They need to play to get time off the bank. They need to play around the natural cover that Hanamura has, and they just take a silly engagement on those stairs. The advantage positionally is there for Benchwarmers, and it's a silly fight engagement from Idiot Sandwich, and they must feel like an Idiot Sandwich right now, as the snowball is definitely on for Benchwarmers here.
Indeed it is now Too Easy Idiot Sandwich trying to make something happen here. They've got Furia on the Reaper, trying to dive into the back line, but cannot access any of those low health targets. Will eventually fall, and the kills going in the direction of Benchwarmers 0 here. This is their time. The shatter is massive. Mr. Gummy coming up clutch once again, and there you have it. Benchwarmers 0. They close it out there on Hanamura. The mistake from Too Easy Idiot Sandwich comes back to bite them, and Benchwarmers 0 are your GitGud Rookie Division champions.
Yeah, I mean, what a story. I can't get over this story. Just last week, this team lost 3-0. Like, it wasn't close. I remember watching the game and thinking Idiot Sandwich must have this division on lockdown. But apparently, the lockdown wasn't enough. Benchwarmers burst out of their cage. Today, especially, with the 6-map series win, and now this, their grand final moment, as they look to take the win, our grand final match. And now it's time to declare an MVP for each of us, and we'll do a little bit of an interview with our champions.
That's really tough to say. I mean, after that series, there's so many good options on the side of Benchwarmers 0. It really felt like a team effort all the way around. But if I'm gonna pick one player throughout the series, I think it has to go to Icaros on that hit scan DPS. They were just sublime, so good at keeping Furia in check throughout the entirety of the series, making the life so difficult for that Pharah, and really came up clutch there on Hanamura as well. We saw the Deadeye from the play of the game, so they've got to be my pick here today.
I'm going to go with Rise. I mean, maybe it's the off-tank player in me, but I just enjoyed watching them play the demon, you know? They took control of the high grounds. They helped in the DPS duels. They showed excellent understanding of Sigma in particular, which is surprising to see at this level of play. And I really enjoyed watching Rise sort of take control of the series. And, I mean, they were a critical part of why Benchwarmers 0 were able to get this win today.
For sure. I do like, I know we can't give out, so many MVP awards. We can't give everybody on the team MVP, but I do want to just give a quick shout out to Holy Warrior. Mercy players do not often get a lot of love from casters and from fans, but I really thought they were excellent throughout the series. So many clutch reses coming through with that Mercy, and really well played. Well-earned victory today for Benchwarmers 0. Big congratulations to the rest of the team. But we're going to take a quick break here as we get prepared for some interviews with the winning team. But we'll be right back with a couple members of the victorious Benchwarmers. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's time for a little bit of an interview with the victorious Benchwarmers Zero. We've got Icaros and Rise, our two MVPs, joining us to recap a little bit of the series, give us some takes on their feelings. So we'll jump right into it. Icaros, I'll start with you now. As you know, we just saw earlier on in the tournament that you dropped in the upper bracket final. To the side of Two Easy Idiots sandwich and were able to come back today, get the win. So what kind of adjustments and what was like the mentality for the team coming into this series?
We definitely thought we could win against them if we could get to a rematch with them in the grand finals, and we just had a mindset to improve, to adapt to their gameplay, and it really worked out because we won the 3-1, and I'm just really glad it did because we worked like hard for this, like really hard.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, especially today, as you guys, you played in the lower bracket final earlier. That one went to 6 maps. This one went to 4, nearly going the distance as well. So, how do you guys kind of keep composure through all of that? How do you kind of keep the energy up through a series that goes that long, and then another one right after it?
So we try to do like little pauses, like when we are setting up, when the lobby host sets up the map and something like that. We just chill there for a sec. We take a breather. We take our headsets off. Also, when we are like really down, I try to do like prep talks for the team so they get up again. I say like stuff like, "Oh, we're gonna be champions" and something like that. It usually works really well. Like the team morale tends to be pretty good as long as we're not losing. Like we do get tired, but not as badly as other teams, I feel like.
And I just want to add that we got a lot of momentum from the last 2 maps of the lower bracket finals because we completely destroyed Ramen.
Yeah.
So it just kind of helped that we got hyped for the next match that we actually won, and it just worked.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's super, super cool. I'm gonna ask a little bit of a more open-ended question to both of you, and it's unfortunately about one of the more negative moments in that matchup. That C9 on Rialto point B. Does anyone want to talk us through the emotions that went through after that? Because that seemed like could have been a bit of a poor turning point for you guys.
So yeah, that was a heartbreaker, to be honest. Our plan, I don't really remember what the plan was. I think it was for main tank to touch, and I think he got booped. And then I tried to like say to the team, "Oh, it's alright. We can win this in the next on the next point. We can still win this." But the reality was that I was really toxic about that. Like I was really mad about that. So yeah, I still tried to keep the team's morale up.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't only Rise that got mad. Everybody was mad about that one, and that ultimately led to just us crumbling down for the rest of the map.
Yeah, that's super cool. And another like big question off of that is, how did you eventually reset yourself on Hollywood in particular? Because they had a massive time bank on Hollywood, and you managed to come back in that map. And specifically with the change to your more comfortable Diva Ryan card composition, talk us through that.
Yeah, it's mostly because me as the off-tank player, I feel a lot more comfortable on Diva than on Zarya. I would say my Diva is a whole rank above my Zarya because I don't really have confidence in playing Zarya. But yeah, once we switched to that, like we were pretty much everybody was on their comfort picks. That's what we know how to play, and then we played it, and then we won.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And one more sort of like follow-up question, and this is a bit of an evil question, and you have a little bit of a chance to talk about your opponents here. So, what do you think sort of led to their sort of downfall in this matchup?
Honestly, I think it's just them being overconfident because the last time we played against them, we got 3-0'd. And it's just they just kind of. I think what went through their head is just that they're gonna do the same thing and win the 3-0, and when they lost 2 maps, they just crumbled. And I feel like they were just like stressed out. They were, like overall just playing worse, and that's and that's not the only thing that led us to our victory, because we played a lot better than the last time, but it's one of them.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to have a go at Big Eagle? Just kind of maybe throw a little bit of shade there. Maybe your opposite number, the off tank. No.
I mean, I felt. I don't really think. I think like Cap, Map, and me are pretty much the same amount of good. Is that English?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty evenly matched. His story is probably way better than mine, but for that I'm more flexible, I feel like. So yeah, I feel like we're around the same level.
All right, okay, and I'll give you one more question each, and this one's just gonna be a little bit of fun, a little bit of guessing work, just to kind of lighten things up a little bit, because I know you guys are super happy after winning. But this is just a weird question: which one of us do you think give each person's MVP?
Oh, I think Icarus was the MVP of this map. Like, he played really good. I know that he's popping off. I know that he's probably the best player in GGU rookie division. So yeah, I'd say everybody will pick him.
Well, I'll give you a spoiler. It's for both our MVP for a matchup. Shy Guy with Icarus, and I went with yourself, Rise. So, congrats to both of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll close out with this and then let you guys get back to the team to celebrate your victory. I do just want to give you guys an opportunity before we let you go to kind of give a shout out to anyone behind the scenes who has like been the person to kind of help you guys along the most over the course of this season.
That's very easy. Our coach Barry, he is by far like the piece that helped us the most. He's such a good coach. He's really amazing. He really knows how to deal with us. Like, he knows how to shut us up. He knows how we tick. He knows how we do things. And his one-on-one what reviews are really good. Like, you really learn a lot from that.
That's super awesome.
Exactly.
Also,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Also, our manager Lunatic is helping us a lot. He's always getting us scrims. He's always setting up coaching sessions and stuff like that. So he's really helped us off a lot in this time.
Yeah. Well, we always like to make sure that those people get their due as well, especially after a hard-earned victory like this one. So congratulations once again to both of you. We'll let you get back to your team and enjoy and savor the victory here today. But really, really well played. It was a joy to watch all of you today.
Thank you.
All right, well, Ocean, that brings us to the end of this broadcast, where we're now done with our first final of the day, but we are not done all the way. We've still got one more. That was it for the rookie division, and now it's time to head up to experts. As I think we are going to be in for a really, really fantastic series, and I think this is going to be a great way to kind of close out the day.
Yeah, we have, of course, our highest tier in GitGud. EU ready to go next, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere.